Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. Today is payday and we're going to get things done and we're going to close out our paycheck 2. We're going to set up paycheck 3 and kind of see where our numbers are. So if you are interested in that, please stick around and watch this video. Okay, so here we are. I have paycheck 2 set up. Paycheck 1's already closed out, so I'm just gonna kind of flip this over to paycheck 2. And in fact, better yet, I'm gonna take it out of my notebook because nothing's worse than the rings getting in the way while you're writing and doing all the things that you need to be doing. So I'm gonna take these 2 pages out. I have my paycheck 3 and my paycheck 2. So how is your budgeting going on for this week and for this month this far? January's been kind of interesting. You know, we've gotten a stimulus. A lot of us have gotten a stimulus check. A lot of us has gotten different things going on in our lives, so that affect our budgets. I know for us, we had some vehicle expenses. We're going to be paying that off in February at the first of the month, so I'll be rolling over quite a bit of money. And so I got to keep track of what we're spending for our paycheck 2, or what we did spend for our paycheck 2, and then setting up our paycheck 3. So it's set up for, move that out of the way actually, so that we can pay this over $1,600 bill for our AMCO. So I do like using the AMCO card just so I can delay for a couple weeks or a month on how I'm going to pay for my car maintenance. Because a lot of times with my car maintenance, it is anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 because my car is older. It is 8 years old, but it almost has 100,000 miles. And then my husband's Jeep, which is like 11 years old. Luckily, his only has 70,000 miles. So it's a pretty good low mileage vehicle. So that's not too bad. What we're going to do is we're going to close out paycheck 2, which means we're going to go over our actual numbers here. I really don't pay attention too much of the over under. I just like seeing individual categories over under, but you can total that and see if it works out. A lot of times it doesn't work out for me. But these 2 categories, the budget and the actual, are what I focus on the most. And I have some notes in here, so we'll just zoom right in and take a look at what we got going on. So, okay, for paycheck 2, for what we had in the bank, I balanced forward a large amount of $3,271.98. Originally, we were calling the extra money, the $1,800 of this, Jeep money, because we thought this week we would be taking the Jeep in to do something my husband's been saving up for, which is a Jeep lift. After we got the stimulus and everything, and we were moving money around in the accounts, and we were going to do that. Well, it didn't happen. He's getting called to go out to sea, and he wants to be home when it's ready to be picked up. So he's delaying that until next month. So that money got rolled over from paycheck 1 to paycheck 2. And then salary was $637.49 too high. Originally, I was going to leave it in the checking account, so when paycheck 3 came in and it would offset the amount they were going to pull out. Well, you'll see in paycheck 3 they never took this overage out, so now we still are stuck with this overage. I don't know what to do, so I put it in savings, and you'll see that here in a minute. So total amount of income is $6,179.01, and that is where we're at right now. And here is our spending. So the bills that I had budgeted: Instant Ink, Sling, Geico, tithing, life insurance, electric, Audible, iTunes, they all came out. Nothing variant in any of those. I had already known what my exact electric bill was by the time I created this budget, so it wasn't any higher or lower than what I estimated. So I don't really have to worry about that too often. The spending categories, so those are the categories that I have to pay attention to the most, and these extra spending, as I call it, or the unbudgeted spending, right here. So these are things I did not plan, and I decided it would be a good idea to take out of what was left over in the paychecks and what rolled over from the first of the month. So let's jump right into this. Now, I've already done my weekly check-in. If you see my weekly check-in, this is where I'm getting my numbers from. Grocery household, I budgeted $467 $2,287.40 for week 2 and week 3 in my weekly check-in. And I actually spent over those 2 weeks, which is covered under Paycheck 2, $623.25. Yep, I'm way over budget in this category. I'm trying to find my calculator. But it's what happened. So I'm going to take those numbers and I am going to subtract the $467.40 minus the $623.25. And then I'm going to put over here in red, because I am over budget, $155.85. All right. Yep. That's what happened during Paycheck 2. Oh. But if you total these budgeted items together and then what I had left over, I did not go over budget from the total of the spending categories, but I did go over budget in the categories, this category of the spending budget. The others I was fine on. So restaurants, I had budgeted $320.89 for the 2 weeks, week 2 and week 3. And I actually only spent, I think, $285.47. So let's see if the math works out here. 320. All right, yes. So we had left over $35.42, which is awesome. And that is a hard category for me. Groceries and restaurants, food, whatever, just random stuff. All my categories are hard for me to stay in, but man, sometimes those are really, really hard. So miscellaneous, I had the $256.67 plus $64.49 that was refunded. I just threw it in that category because we were so close and I still needed to buy a Bible study at the end. So I just threw it in there after I got the refund. The total spent for that category is $270.37, but you're going to see I did not go over budget. So let's add this up. $256.67 plus the $26.49 equals $283.16 minus the $270.37. All right, that left us with $12.79 for miscellaneous, and that will be rolling over into the next week's category. And then gasoline, I had way more gasoline money than I actually needed. I only spent $44.61, and that was my bigger vehicle, the Armada, that we filled up, and that was it. So $159.79, here we go, minus the $44.61. So I still have $115 left. That was over. All right, so now what we want to do is just take a look at our actual numbers now that I have everything filled in. Now, I would have put this deposit here. I know I threw it in this budget category. I would have put this deposit up here, but I'd already had this reconciled and I didn't really want to do it. And it was such a small number. I just wrote it in green here, and I should have put refund. But I put a plus sign and wrote it in green, and that would remind me to add it back into the budget. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward through this and see if I can get on screen where the lights aren't going to really interfere. No, that's going to interfere. There we go. And total this up, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So my actual column, this is what the number is. So I have here what my expenses are, and then this, including this refund in the middle of all this. So it is $3,589.14. Oops, you weren't even on screen for that, so I wrote that down here. And we're going to take that number, and hopefully my calculator will cooperate. I'm going to put a negative in front of it. I'm going to add this $6,000 at the top here that we brought in income, $6,179.01. And that gives us the amount we need to know that is going to be rolled over into Paycheck 3. So it's $2,589.87. And that is exactly what is in my bank account before the new deposit came in. So this finishes up Paycheck 2. And I'm going to zoom you guys back out. So I'll be right back. And there we go. So that's my Paycheck 2. Everything is reconciled. All my spending categories are set and closed. And I just closed out Paycheck 2. So now what I need to do is pull up Paycheck 3. And we're going to set that up. Okay, so what we're going to do with Paycheck 3 is I have to roll over the income from Paycheck 2, which is a balance forward is what I call it. So I balance forward literally, let me grab my notes over here, that amount that ended in Paycheck 2. So that was $2,589.87. And that was also the actual number, 987, which is fine. So no variance there. Now I'm going to put in the amount that was paid to our bank account. So my husband's salary this time around, since I actually know the number, I'm not going to put, I'm going to put the same number in both categories anyway. So it was $2,271.04. That is what we got. And so these numbers are going to be identical, which is fine. 7-1. Now, for whatever reason, with the new pay system that my husband's company did on the first of the year, it gave us $1.50 more than what the previous pay system was giving us as our base salary. So I'm not sure what the difference was, but whatever. And we'll take it. So that is what came in. Also what came in was, and for some weird reason, normally it comes in, VA education comes in on the first of the month. This one only came in early. We have one on the first of the month, but then this one's coming in before the February. So I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm going to add it in here. VA education benefits. And that was $125. Now I could put the old salary, what we were used to, and a zero budget here, and then put the actuals over here, but I don't feel like doing that today. That's what I love about budgeting, especially paper budgeting. You can just write however you want, and it will be fine. So we're going to total that up. Before I do that, I'm going to zoom you guys in, and then I'm going to start filling in the expenses, and you're going to see my totals and what our budget is for Paycheck 3. So I will be right back. Okay, let's do the totals. So we have $2,589.87 that was in the checking account. Oops, you can't see that with the glare. In the checking account before the two new deposits came in. So we're going to add the $2,271.04 plus the $125, and that's going to give us $4,985.91. So I'm going to move this so I can write that down real quick. Total 900. And actually, I'm going to leave my actual blank now that I think about it, because I don't know. Like last pay period, we had a refund. I don't know what's going to come through, or if there's anything extra going to come through. So I'm not going to actually put anything down for my actuals just yet and balance that out. I'm just going to keep it in the budget side. So now we have, adjust my camera just a little bit here. our starting amount on how much money we have available to spend. Now, a lot of this I need to keep for next next paycheck, because, or not even the next paycheck, but the next week, because February 1st or 2nd, I have a large bill coming out of car maintenance for AMCO, and I need to make sure I pay that off so I don't get in debt. We are currently debt free. Yes, we still use cards, but it's very sparingly, and it's for specific reasons, not even for cash back. I don't really care about all that reward system. I don't need a reward system. Jesus is my only reward system I really need. But as far as car maintenance, making sure you have that money and then transferring all that cash out of one account to another from savings into checking to pay a $1,600 bill where you had a maintenance fund. I don't like doing that frequently, so I'd rather pay a bill than pay transfer funds all the time. So that's what I do there. So the first thing we're going to write down as an expense, and I'm super excited about, and it's actually part of our giving, is, I'm going to angle this just a little bit. There we go. Is something to the Leaky Mama. So and this is a person who sells cookies to help women with lactation after giving birth to their babies and needing to, take care of the babies, nurse their babies. So she's a cousin of my husband, and she's so funny and awesome. And so we're going to do a giveaway. So I'm going to donate some money to her business, and she's going to set up a giveaway for February so that people can get to know who she is and find her products and stuff like that. So absolutely love it. So the Leaky Mama is our first thing. It's our priority. It's our tithing for the first. And I'm going to actually call her later today. Got my notes over here. I'm trying to see. All right. So the next thing I have is sinking funds. Now, sinking funds, I pay with the last paycheck of every month because that is the most amount of money I have available to put into savings. And it goes into a savings account, and they're for annual expenses that pop up once or twice a year, and that's it. And then I have the cash to pay for it, which I absolutely love it. But I'm starting to build up a lot of sinking funds. So I have $468.66 total. If you see my sinking funds video, you'll see what the categories are. Some of them are subscriptions like Disney Plus, where you pay for it upfront at once, and then instead of doing the monthly, because it can be cheaper that way, things like that. But it also has like car maintenance, or my son's senior year next year, or, because there's a lot of expenses that go with that. Or City of Chesapeake, where I live, where there's property taxes on vehicles and things like that. Things that pop up once a year that you really need to take care of. So that's what we got there. The next thing is, and this actually came out today, is Vivint. And it's our home security. And if you're ever interested, I do have a code in the description box below for Vivint, and you get $50 and I get $50 as a referral link. And if you're interested in that, you can check that out. But good security system, have had no issues. It works perfectly fine and does its job. So I love it, and I've enjoyed it. In fact, across several of my neighborhood, I think there's like 20 or 30 of us that have Vivint. But the guy across the street, who is a police officer, he has Vivint for his home security system for his family, and I thought that was great. We don't have to have it. It's just one of those extra peace of mind, because we live in a great neighborhood. So you're almost like, I don't know if you need it or not, but we're going to get it. So I have that taken out of the bank already. I saw that this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down here as an actual, because it's already come out. And there was no variance. So I'm just going to draw a line right there. Tithing, that'll come out on Sunday. Oops, cannot spell today. Tithing. This is the general fund to our church, and they do amazing things and take care of people, so I love it. And our church, actually, the building fund, because they had a building before it got caught on fire by lightning, and then they rebuilt, and they had this building fund, and now we are debt free because they paid off the building fund early during COVID. I mean, seriously, God has been so good. It's been amazing. So we're really excited for them. Let's see, Sprint. It's funny, I just got a text from them, Sprint. 285.45. I don't know if I'm going to start looking for something new. We've been with them for over 20 years, but they merged with T-Mobile. Not quite sure what's going on. They haven't really asked us to change anything. I just don't know. But that's being paid, and the text I got from them actually said, your payment will be withdrawn soon. I'm like, okay, I've already scheduled it. So I am budgeting for my Visa. So Visa is another card that we have, we keep active. Now, why do we keep credit cards if we're a Dave Ramsey family? Mainly because you got to play the game of the credit score. If you want to buy a house or have a mortgage or get a loan, you want a decent enough credit score. So we keep the cards active, but we keep them paid off. That's what we do. And I don't like it. I dislike it as much as Dave Ramsey probably does, but I do have a feeling that down the road we will have to move and sell this home and possibly purchase another home or rent and then purchase. I have no idea. But I do try to keep the accounts active that we do have, because I just paid off all my school loans, so I have no other active accounts besides this credit card and the mortgage. So yeah, we just want to make sure everything's good. So when we go and talk to a lender, it's not as complicated and does not require as much paperwork as somebody who has a 0 credit score and you have to prove everything. I hate that they make us go through that. Can't they just see we do good and then we can afford it? It's ridiculous. All right, so off that soapbox. Every dollar I do pay for the monthly subscription. I won't be doing that after this summer. And I'm just going to keep the free version because it's working very well for me. I do have 2 versions, a paid and a free, and I'm just letting the paid one run out, and then I will close that one and I'll keep my free one. So I actually prefer the free one now. Before I liked the paid one and it worked very well for a long time. But now that I have been doing budgeting and running the numbers so frequently, I'm able to have less mistakes and put the numbers in myself. With the free version, a lot easier than having to wait for the bank to send the transactions. That's what I have trouble with the paid one. My bank just does not want to send the transactions. I'm like, I know it's pending, but come on, I need to do my budget. Verizon Fios, that is our internet, and we pay $82.71. And then ABC Healthcare, so ABC Health. That is my husband's CPAP machine supplies. He gets masks and hoses and stuff like that. And that's his portion after the insurance is paid. And then city utilities. Water, trash, sewer, yard waste, recycle, all of that good stuff. So that's what we have, $82.55 this month. And that is the actual amount. Now, this is charged every other month. On the months I do not have a bill, I put $100 in the account and just pay $100. And then on the months I do have a bill, they just credit that $100, and then whatever's left over is what I pay, because it averages about $100 a month. So I'm going to put the budget amounts of my spending categories that you saw that I had left over from what I spent last time. And if you saw my weekly check-in, this is where I'm getting my numbers from. So grocery household. And this is going to be really low, and I know I'm going to over budget, but that's okay. $44.15. If I don't go over the $44.15, that means in grocery budget category, I stay within the $1,000 budget for the month that I budget for myself. But if I go over that, then that's going to be $1,000 plus whatever I go over for the month. And that's just a kind of a little alarm for me to go, hey, pay attention to what you're spending. Is there a reason why? If there was, then, maybe it'll be lower next month, things like that. Let's see, restaurants. And that will be 160, oops, 42. So restaurants, I don't want to go for the entire month more than $650. If I spend all of that, that will bring me to $650 for the entire month. If I don't spend it all, then I have money left over and we're good to go. I hope to stay under that. I'm pretty sure I will, but we'll have to wait and see. Miscellaneous. I have $137.79. We're good to go there. That's what I have for the rest of the month. I do $550 for the budget for the month. And if I spend all that, that's what that would take me to. And then gas. And this is where I probably will get extra grocery money from, because I don't think we'll be filling up before February. And that will start a whole new budget. So it's $177.68. So in my mind, the $177.68 plus the $44.15 should be enough for groceries leading up till February, and we should be good to go. And there is that. So what I want to do is, for the budget, this is how I'm budgeting it, is I want to put $1,000 into my emergency fund. So we're going to run those numbers, and then $125 is going to my husband's Jeep fund. So 6-month emergency. And I average about $1,000 to $1,400 a month left over after everything's been paid for our budget, just because that was also our snowball payment. Anytime I made large payments in my snowball payment, this is what it was. And so now I get to throw that snowball payment into our emergency fund. And because we had this extra VA payment here for $125, that always goes to my husband, and he wants it in his Jeep fund. All right. And then that, I believe, is that. So let me adjust things again for you real quick, and then we'll total things up. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So our total expenses here, I'm going to move this paper up, is $3,244.51. So that's totaling up everything we have in expenses here. So I'm going to put a negative sign in front of that, and I'm going to subtract that to the actual income that we've got so far. And I'm going to add the $4,985.91. Hopefully I did this right. Yes, I did. Okay. Sometimes I hit a wrong button and that doesn't come out right. So we have $1,741.40 left in the budget. And I don't want to vary from that at all. I want that to be what we have, because when I roll over this to next month, after Paycheck 3 is a brand new month. It's February. Oops, sorry. Let me zoom you guys out real quick. So Paycheck 3 ends and February 1st begins. So, and I have new sheets in my shop. So if you're interested in February sheets, they're gorgeous little hearts. I love them. But let me get this Paycheck 3 put back in here. Almost there. There we go. All right, Paycheck 3 put in. But I have to pay AMCO. My car needed some repairs. So the shocks were leaked. One of my left rear shocks or something like that were leaking gas, air, whether it's air or some kind of fluid. I don't know, but regardless of what it was leaking. Because of that, and because of the age of the vehicle, the original shocks were to replace all four of them was $1,427.42. And then I went back the next day and went, oh my goodness, my trunk will not open and close properly because a bolt's missing, and that rod that pushes it open and close with the hydraulics. This is for a little bolt, honey. I mean, seriously, $215. But it was in a place that you have to take a lot of the vehicle out in order to get in and get to that bolt. And so I just paid it and it was fine. So it was $1,642.50. That's what I need in my checking account to roll over into February so I can pay that. So that's why I want to keep so badly the $1,700 from Paycheck 3 that we just came up with, because that is more than enough to cover what I need for that charge for AMCO that I've already scheduled, and it will be coming out on the 2nd of February. So this is Paycheck 3, this is the setup, and these are my goals for that paycheck. And I will do the emergency fund and the Jeep fund probably at the end of the month, just before February hits, to make sure I have this number and nothing else comes up. I hope to get to put that in an emergency fund, because if I put this in $1,000 in the emergency fund, that means I will have $3,000 total already saved up. I have my $1,000 emergency fund, baby starter fund, I'm including in that, and then $2,000. I get $1,000 in December, $1,000 in January, so that's $3,000 total going towards that $36,500 that I want. And I am super excited. So, and I even have this great little savings tracker that I'm using. It's really, really cute. That I'm going to be using to track. As soon as February, at the end of February, I can do the first $3,650 into that savings, because that's 10%. I'm doing percentages all the way to the $36,500. I can highlight that, and this is a little sticker I got on Etsy. I think she's no longer on Etsy. She does have her own website. Her name is Maury June, and she does have videos here on YouTube, and Maury June Designs, I think is what it's called. And I just love it. I'm actually going to try to come up with my own version of this, so it's really cool. But she has all those little percentages, so I'm going to highlight that. And every time I get to $3,650, every few months, I'm going to do that. And then over here, I got some baby step goals from the Dave Ramsey program that I want to accomplish, that we need to do, and I haven't done them yet. We're probably going to start on these in February, because my husband's leaving again for next week, and I have to wait for him to come back to do most of these. Anyways, so that is Paycheck 3. Let me get back to that. There we go. And that's what I have to look forward to. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye.